Hey there, answering questions from joincfe.com/knock. Today's question is, how important is a logo in website design and how to go about it? Well, logo design. Okay, so let's talk more about branding first and what branding is and where we need to take it right from the start. Now, the core tenet of building a web application is finished is better than perfect. Okay, so what does that mean for branding? Branding is about building something and letting people know about it on a whole nother scale. Like it builds this new awareness into what that product, business, or service is, right? So if I showed you a logo of a company that you've known for years, you're gonna know instantly, right? So if I showed you the Nike swoosh, you would know instantly it's Nike. But when that was created, it meant nothing. So most logos, when they're first out, they mean nothing. They don't mean anything until years and years of branding that logo. That is, building a great product or service that give that logo meaning. So it doesn't matter what logo it is. All of them started with nothing, just as a symbol. It was just some design that somebody created that then the company, the product and service gave value to that logo. So when it comes to branding, that's the action of doing all sorts of things. It's not about just creating an ad. It's about creating a great product or service that give meaning to the logo, the name, and continuing to give value to the product and service. So as far as creating a logo, you don't actually have to create a great one to start. It doesn't actually matter. What matters is creating a great product or service, right? Your logo is not going to convince somebody to do business with you. Now, in some respects, the things that are behind that logo might, right? So like for if you're an attorney, you might have your attorney logo look exactly like your full name plus your little designation, right? So that logo itself might actually hold some weight to it because you can see it, or a doctor or something like that, where it shows their credentials in the logo. But beyond that, for businesses and websites, it's really not that important. Now, if you've already established a brand, that is, you already have customers, you already have product, you already have a service, you already have people that trust you, then you are going to invest more in how your brand looks. Right, so you're going to spend a lot more money on how your website will look in accordance to how you want your brand to look, right? So if you're just starting out, your website can look like anything. Of course, you want it to look good because it should be representative of what your product or service is going to be. But if you look at websites from 20 years ago, if you look at Google's first website, if you look at Twitter's first website, if you look at Instagram's, if you look at Facebook, if you look at LinkedIn, you look at all these original websites and their original logos, you're not going to be super impressed. You're going to be like, wow, these aren't that great actually, because they focused on what's more important, and that is creating value through their product or service. And then over time, they were able to invest that money into their logo and the rest of their branding. So all of those things would align. So to answer your question, creating a logo is not super important right off the bat. You want to do it after you've created a lot of value with your product or service. And to create logos, of course, you can use some logo creation service out there, or you could simply just open up your word processor or Pages or Adobe Photoshop and just make your own really quick. You can watch a little tutorial on it, download the trial version of Adobe Photoshop or Illustrator, watch a tutorial on how to make a logo, and boom, you can make your first logo, and then it's done. And then down the line, you can then, after you've created a product or service or you've created some value, then you might want to invest in actually updating that logo. Thanks so much for the question. I really like this one because it has so many people often rush out when they're starting something new, especially a business. They often run out and hire a designer to get a logo. They get business cards made and they put this logo on it. I think the reason why is because they feel good about it. It's like, wow, I now have this company. But the important part is not really the feeling of, oh, wow, now I have this company. The best part of it, or the most important part, should be getting out there, getting customers, getting value, and people going, wow, I really like your company. Now, of course, if you're a design company, then yes, you're probably gonna have to put some time and effort into your logo, but you wouldn't even be watching this video if you were, right? You would actually be creating your product or service and going out there and doing it and doing your creative work. So that is something to think about. If you guys have more questions on this, let us know. I try to answer as much questions as possible on joincfe.com/knock. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.